Commence primary ignition.
For Thursday, May 6th, 2021, is the Serenno Squadcast, the official podcast of the Serenno Squad. Ooh. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Squadcast. This week we have the gang. We got Evan with a sight for sore eyes. Is that an armorer helmet?
Yeah,
That's the armorer helmet.
Remember when you gave this to me like in the first month of the pandemic last year?
Wow.
And it hasn't been touched since.
That's sad. That's Evan. We also have with us Paul today.
Hello.
And we got Wayne. He is a mime, a mute, whatever you want to call him. He does not wish to be heard. But he's here, I promise you guys. You know who he is. This week we have all sorts of exciting announcements. Yeah, definitely. We got some Legion news, so let's start with that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring him in by the dozen.
Over here, Legion news. Legion
my
news.
dances are far too jaunty for this music. I'm way above beat.
Yeah. Yeah. We know what we're doing here. But
We do?
yeah, I'm on point, man. My dance moves with the music, everything's appropriate. Evan too. He's on his game today, I noticed. But Paul and Wayne, you're kind of slacking. You gotta get into the groove. You know?
I'm working on it.
That's what the people are watching for. Anyways, so we have some actual Legion news, and it I don't know if we knew about this at the time of recording last week's episode, but we had a troop for May the 4th.
Sort of.
An unofficial Star Wars gathering.
501st troop, so it's not really 501st news.
Yeah.
No, but we were involved. So it's definitely, we got to talk about it. It's the first troop of any kind that we've done this year.
It's Squadcast news.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, what are you guys? The 501st police? What the hell is this? You kidding me?
It was a collection of people who shared their love of Star Wars and are not affiliated with any clubs whatsoever in this event.
I'm gonna say for anyone who's listening and is not a total 501st nerd, that it's very much like going to a Comic-Con where you dress up for an event, and this one was not 501st official, so you kind of do whatever you want, but we all dressed except me. I did walk up in there without a neck seal, and Wayne, he made me go out to the car, and he made Hannah go out to the car and get my neck seal. I'm putting that on you,
I
man.
did that.
Yeah. No, that was my fault.
Was
that was my fault. I thought I could get away with it, but we still had a really good time.
As soon as you turned, all I could see was neck.
Yeah, there was a lot of it.
For anyone confused, it was an unofficial event because currently Lucasfilm and the 501st do not want anybody trooping retail establishments.
There we go.
Or any events, really.
So the event that we had here was May the 4th little celebration thing at a local comic book store we had, and everybody was, nice and socially, we had all of our masks and distance and all that good stuff, and half the people I'm sure were even vaccinated, which is kind of cool. But
More than.
Yeah, but I had to keep my balaclava on because I could not wear my helmet for more than 5 minutes. I couldn't hear a thing. It was my first time wearing the gunner helmet out in public, like my own gunner helmet, and it was rough for the first 5 minutes.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah. I was like,
the first
no one's hearing
event
me.
is always the rough one.
Yeah. I mean, I could hear pretty good, but no one could hear me. That was the issue. And I was just screaming. So, For the majority
No,
of the time, I
screaming
walk.
just makes it worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, because then you've got all that noise just coming back in your face.
that's exactly right. And you don't know if anyone can even hear you. So it's like, what's the point?
Question: when you put on the helmet, does the point come up, or do you have it to where it's flat?
I actually have a piece of foam that's kind of on my forehead, and it keeps it kind of down to where I can see, or level. It doesn't really look up or down.
Okay.
It's pretty level. But I do have a time getting it on my head right. Basically, I put something in the front so that my head goes to the back of the helmet and it kind of shoots out, because otherwise it drops down on me. And I think Evan saw that I had a piece of foam literally like taped in there.
That's why I could see neck, because you got your head shoved to the back.
Yes.
We need to get you. What you need to do is go to like Lowe's or Home Depot and get you one of those bump caps. It's not quite a hard hat, but it's got the piece in it. Take that out. Throw the hat away, or keep it so you can.
You've
I
never
think I
done
might
this.
have one.
Oh, someone's already got one.
Yeah. And if you do that, then you can Velcro that inside, and that'll help it to where when you turn your head.
These should have been in my Jedi boots because my feet hurt so bad, and I just have a random pair of insoles right here in the drawer. Okay, cool.
There you go. You can add that to the next troop.
Oh, here's a neck seal for you if you need one, Gunner, so we can't see so much of your neck.
I think that's a joke. I'm hoping that's a joke. Because I will take that from you. If you're not joking, I will take that from you. It will become a part of mine.
If you get one of those hard hat liners, you can keep that to where it'll be in a more comfortable place. It'll always stay in the same place. You can get it set, and then you don't have to go all the way to the back.
Yeah, I need to invest in it. I just literally threw
You
a
don't
piece
have
of
a
foam in
gunner
there.
helmet either.
Yeah, man. What are you talking about? You want a gunner helmet, Evan? You want to join the club? What's that? Oh, okay.
That's
It's not Cody.
Clone
That's just
Trooper
like a
bobblehead. That's the 212th, maybe, possibly. I think that was.
I don't know.
I think the 212th was Obi-Wan's with the orange and Cody.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah. Well,
Getting ahead of yourself there.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to the top story yet. But yeah. So we had a little unofficial troop, and it was more of not a troop, but a yeah. I guess it was a troop, basically, just unofficial. Yeah. As if it was. I mean, not only when I say that it's.
We did an event.
It's like a Comic-Con. It was literally it's the owner that does the Big Lick. Wait, no? There. Are you talking to me, Paul?
No.
Okay, I'm saying something. You're making these like, no, don't stop saying that. And I'm like, okay, I must be saying something wrong. Good. Don't listen to me. No, okay. So
Jen was asking if I wanted a drink, and I was like, no.
Oh man,
I have my drink.
Yeah, you're prepared. Yeah. So I was I was just saying that it was the comic book store is also owned. I believe it's owned and ran by the owner of the Big Lick Comic-Con, which is our local, one of our local Comic-Cons. I think we might be our only one right now.
There are technically others, but
Mysticon is still around.
There are still 2 other recurring local conventions. There's Mysticon, and then there's the Roanoke Valley Comic-Con. I think Big Lick's better than both of them, but that's just my opinion. And
I
it's
didn't
not
even know it was
awesome.
Roanoke Valley Comic-Con. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was like 2 or 3 weekends ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
It
was just a few weekends ago.
Did we even talk about it?
No.
I feel like we might have mentioned it briefly, and we were basically like, yeah, we weren't invited.
Well, I know we had like InfernoCon and all that stuff going on, but anyways, good times. We were there. Oh, actually, I have something for that. But we'll come back to that because I gotta set that up. But we'll go while we're still in Legion news. let's check out some approvals. Yeah,
Yeah.
some approvals. How about that? So let's
I think it needs to be trimmed.
do this little number right here. Ayo. First up, we have
Ooh.
the approval of TD41814 of Nova Inferno Squad. It's a Mimban Trooper, which is super
beautiful.
Cool. Well done.
I saw one of these guys at Celebrate. Is not him, but at Celebration last year, 2019. I was in my Sand Trooper standing next to him, and I felt like I was spotless, shiny. Yeah. The picture doesn't do justice to how weathered and dirty these guys really are.
It's like physical. It's not just it doesn't look dirty. It's like got chunks of mud on it.
What's the where is this from? What is this reference from?
These are from Solo.
Oh, wow.
You know, you got to wonder if Solo had maybe the most coolest, densest amount of cool costumes of any Star Wars movie, because they pack so many awesome costumes into one awesome movie.
And they're really dirty too.
Yeah,
all of them are filthy.
Mimban, which is just mud.
Yeah. If you go back and watch the movie, when Han is walking through the trenches, there's a couple of shots where they're just like kind of milling around in the trenches.
Yeah, you see the mud trooper, which ironically is not this guy. That's what Han is wearing, is the mud trooper. You see lots of them. You see a couple of these guys in the back.
This is it's kind of a classic Star Wars thing where you have a certain character that is marketed really heavily before the movie, and so everyone gets really excited about this character, this one including, and then the movie comes out and you see almost none of them. So this character and the patrol trooper and the range trooper a little bit, you see a lot of the range trooper, but this trooper and the patrol trooper you barely see of in the movie at all, but they were marketed pretty heavily before.
Yeah, I don't think I ever paid attention to it at all, but it looks cool.
One thing you can't tell from the angle of this picture is these aren't just a stormtrooper that's dirty. Number one, he's got the cape, and the helmet has an extra piece on the forehead that juts out.
Oh.
You can sort of see it on the background. So he has some mud or some like Mimban troopers on the back, and it's sort of like a blast shield that hooks to the front of the. That's why the forehead kind of looks so bulky. It's actually a blast shield over top of the forehead.
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't the Mud Trooper really have that on that helmet too? Or isn't there another similar helmet?
There's another one that has it. I can't remember who it is.
Wait, what'd you say?
Up on the Mud Trooper.
Oh, okay.
The Shore Trooper sort of has a blast shield.
And the goggles come up.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this guy did a great job. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That is a very cool costume.
Yeah.
Next up, we have IC 71276 of Nova Inferno Squad as well for the approval of their Imperial Bridge Crew. Classic.
Woo. Classic.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yep. It's a great place to start.
It's probably the only place to start, unless you're really wanting to. Unless you're who was it that we talked to? I think it was James, who thought that you had to be a stormtrooper to get your TK number. So James, shout out to you, buddy. But this is a classic one, good one to start with. It's affordable. I was telling a buddy of mine that this is probably where you want to start, and then you can kind of branch off. So it's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. It's still funny that the hardest part of this costume is the hat. That is the hardest and potentially the most expensive piece.
That's wild. I got lucky with mine, my Amazon one. I don't know if it just fits good or what, but I don't have any problems with mine.
Yeah, hats are difficult because like they all fit differently. They're all shaped sort of differently. Like everyone has a different pattern, and so some are shorter, some are taller, and It's just about getting the right one.
Yeah. Some are really tight on the side. Some are kind of loosey.
Yeah.
Mine's an Amazon one. I picked it up when we were going to when we were going to celebration for Orlando, and I just needed a hat real quick. So I went online. They had it for like $25, and that's the one I've used ever since because nobody ever seemed to have a problem with it. So
You said Amazon?
Yeah.
That's the same one that I bought. And it just is, I think I did have to in one of my first approval photos, I think I wore the hat funny, and they were like, "Where'd you get your hat from?" And I didn't answer, or I think I said,
Mine's in my armor tub.
I can't remember if I told them I got it off of Amazon or not, or if I just sent them new pictures, and the picture I just tilted it a different way, and they were like, "Oh yeah, looks great." So I was just wearing it funny. I wore it on top of my head instead of down. Evan, your hat looks great. Looks just not like that. There we go.
It looks a little pointy, and it looks like your emblem needs to come down a little bit.
Oh, we're getting some criticism
seems a
here.
It's right in the emblem's right in the center of the top flap.
It's probably just your crooked head.
Oh wait, yours is a.
His is a Rogue One. It's Krennic's hat.
Yeah.
The emblem is different.
Yeah. As soon as he put it up there, I was like, wait, that's different. Never mind.
You know what? That's a great segue to our next approval because looky here.
Yeah.
No hat, critic. So congratulations to ID 22586. Director
The
critic.
cape is cool. You gotta love a character with a cape.
It's great.
Well, he's one of the few like bad guys that isn't super scary looking, but you kind of take seriously. You know what I mean? Some of the characters, they just don't look like Tarkin. He's one of those characters that it's like he's not that scary looking, but he kind of does look a little creepy, little skeezy. But
I love that Krennic is just, he's the absolute just middle manager who desperately wants approval and a promotion.
Yeah, but he's not like Hux, all right? Hux is pathetic. He's a worm. That's what this is one of the guys where it's like I take you seriously, but he still looks like he's kind of what we imagine Thrawn would be, super like an intellectual, but yet pretty vicious. I like it. I like these kind of characters.
Trying to remember the book. Thrawn and Krennic did not get along. If I remember correctly, Krennic tried to sabotage Thrawn.
Typical imperial.
Yeah, the third Thrawn book deals with Krennic and Thrawn together.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of allude to that in Rebels when Krennic's project and Thrawn's project are going up head to head as to who's going to get the funding.
Yeah, that's the plot of the third book. There's one episode of Rebels where Thrawn's just like, I got to go over here for a minute, and then that's the plot of the book.
Hey, sounds like a good book.
Thrawn books are pretty good. You could do a lot worse.
Yeah, I started on one of them and I never finished it. It was an audiobook, I think. I think that is it this week for the approvals, but before
quality costumes.
What's that?
Some quality costumes.
Yeah, for real. But now, before we move on, I did want to share some photos from Biglet Comics. So if I knew what I was doing, I would do this. There we go. Oh, hello.
Ah.
Oh, what a great picture.
Yeah, real. It really is.
Who's that cool looking guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a mask on. I can't tell.
All I can say is that he's being very, very safe. So there we go. We got one photo there.
Sleeves look a little short, though.
Yeah, a little short, but that's okay. Oh, hey. Looking good. Looking good. The kids, they loved the Jawa. They were going nuts.
Oh yeah.
We should have got a
She's
picture
a
with the
great
egg.
Jawa too.
Yeah, it's if you guys haven't seen or heard Cammy's her Jawa, it's insane.
How she just doesn't pass out from exhaustion from how much running around and how active she is when she's dressed as the Jawa is beyond me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get tired just watching.
And
She
incredible.
does that thing, that working out thing. I don't know. I can't even say it.
Yeah. I think it's exercise.
She does it at the Gime. I've read about it.
All right, let's see. We also got Peter.
Yay, Peter, looking delightfully anonymous.
Yeah, and that mask kind of goes with it.
I have to wonder how many people came up to him and were like, "Are you from G.I. Joe?"
Yeah, Cobra
Just
or
with
whatever.
the mask and the helmet, it just makes me think like he should be running around yelling "Cobra."
Cobra.
He does look like a generic minion, and it's great.
Oh, sorry guys. Nice. My brother just got a featured role in that new Dope Sick series. Oh, that's pretty exciting.
I don't know what that is, but congratulations.
Yeah, it's that new oh my gosh, I can't think of her name.
Does that have
Rose-
Michael Keaton in it?
It has Rosie. What's her name? Freaking Ahsoka.
Rosario
Dawson. Yeah, she's in it. It's based off a book called Dope Sick, and he was an extra in an episode, and they filmed a couple weeks ago, and they sent him and asked him if he wanted to be a feature actor, and so
Cool.
he said yes, and then they just sent him a thing, so he's gonna be. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Jacob. I hope you're listening.
So
That's
is he like?
dope. That's sick.
Is he,
Yeah. Yeah.
is he going to be like that guy that the main characters always go to once an episode and he gets like 5 lines?
Yeah, well, I think usually featured means like you actually get credit. So if you're an extra, they don't put your name in the credits. But if you're a featured, that means you could be like the bartender or the trash man, or he could be guy that bumps into someone on the street. So they'll probably have a little bit of dialogue. I don't know. That's super exciting.
Sounds like he'll have dialogue. That's cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I think he'll
Sounds
get
like he'll
some
have an IMDb page.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The credit.
He's gonna get an action figure.
Yeah, action figure. That's so great. All right, yeah. Oh, sorry, Peter, to steal your thunder. Let's go to the next. See what else we got here. Hey, what is this? This is inappropriate. All right, there we go. Dude, this was so good. Be more Vader. I mean, how could you be more Vader? You are Vader.
That's probably the best picture I've ever taken.
I know it is really good. That
Not just 501st best 501st picture I've ever taken. That's the best picture I've ever taken.
Yeah, I mean, you actually focused in, no blur. You got the subject there, and you also got some witty little, some humor. I like it. I like it a lot.
How can I be more Vader? The answer is none. None more Vader.
Comics?
None more Vader.
No, what is this? This is
What are you doing?
Oh
this
my
is too
god!
much information.
You show everyone on your Facebook page. Oh my gosh, no!
This
He's
is-
gonna
No.
say porn.
Don't steal my
Squadcast Christmas intro. I don't remember a Christmas intro.
Damn it! This is really bad. I can't believe the curtain is being pulled, and I can't get back into my photos. What is going on?
Pay no attention to the
that
man behind the
stupid
curtain.
behind the curtain.
Oh, that's right. I'm on the wrong one. All right. Yeah, we're going to figure this out, guys. We're almost there.
Let's go.
Almost.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's
Oh
like I'm
my
back
God.
at work. People can't figure out how to use Zoom.
Dude, and I'm
Look at
having
that,
an
baby.
anxiety attack. All right, here we go. Lou's first, go at holding a lightsaber. thank you, Evan, for that experience.
You're welcome.
I
Did you
hope you
change the blade
sanitized it.
color?
Yeah, I started. I did. I basically did all the blade colors while I was there, and towards the end, I was just like, I'm just gonna go straight Sith. So I turned on my. It flickers between red and orange, and it has like a sort of Kylo sound font. It's great. So that's what's going on there.
Yeah, loves it. And last but not least, there we go. Me and my baby.
Yay. Gunner's gunner.
She's holding the gun.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like it.
Extreme
Gunner.
grip strength.
Gunner in his gunner with a baby who's a gunner.
Yeah, all of it. Forever.
So gunner and a gunner holding a gunner.
That's right. That's right. It was a good old time. Had a good time. All right. Well.
Yeah, I was gonna go, but I wanted a new costume to wear. I'm like, if I had Rex ready, it'd be like a cool chance to show off Rex. And I'm like,
You know, I was. It
he's
was.
basically retired again.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
What the hell was that? That was the craziest special effects I've ever seen in my life. I thought Wayne. I literally thought that he had like a freaking what are they called? A vape pen blow up in his pocket or something. What was that? That was ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for that. All right.
That's what you come here for.
Yeah, that's what people come to the YouTube
It's
for.
involving storyline, but you're just here for the special effects.
Yeah, make sure you go on YouTube for that one, folks. But yeah, it was fun. It was a close call for me because we had dinner plans that night, and also I don't get off work till 6, and I had to get off early, and it stormed. It was just all sorts of reasons.
That storm was crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of
Nothing top Evan's story driving in as a Jedi. I wish he'd have gotten pulled over. Oh,
dude. I saw you drive off as a Jedi too. I was like, he's not gonna change. He's just gonna drive off. Okay.
Nope.
Cool.
Nobody even looked at me while I was driving. It took me 30 minutes to drive there. I didn't see a single person look at me, but I was driving along Orange Avenue, so most people are white knuckling it through there anyway.
Yeah, I was right behind you for a minute there. Yep. It was good times. Good times. All right. Now moving on to the top. Wait. I have not shared the audio yet. I could have really screwed that up.
Oh my
Here we
gosh.
go. Yeah, I know it could have been bad. Top story.
Excuse me, that's the wrong franchise.
I think I don't care.
Yeah. So guys, you know what it is. You know what it is.
I do.
What?
It's Bad Batch. Bad
Is it?
Batch has returned. Bad Batch.
Did they return or did they show up for the first time? How
Bad
are we treating this?
Show up for the first time in their own series. Nothing screams crossover like burning the previous title to the series and then unveiling, what it is now. Just perfect.
That was
Yep.
kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that because they'd use that in marketing, but I was like, that's okay. They're not going to use that in the show, but they did.
That's
I
where
thought
I
it was
saw
like I thought they were about to do like a previously on Clone Wars because Heather watched it with me and she's never watched even 1 second of Clone Wars.
What?
And,
So she didn't know the narrator?
Yes. Well, I was surprised because it was like 7:30 and I was like, oh man, I need to watch Bad Batch before the Squadcast. And she was like, I'll watch it with you. And I'm like, what? So she watched Bad Batch with me.
Not only that, that's great because I also had a very similar experience where I was at lunch and I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to watch it before, I'm going to come home, get off. I got to grab food and we're going to watch it. And she's like, well, I'll have it on. So whenever you get home, we can just play it. I'm like, what? You'll do what? Yeah. So that was very sweet. Our significant others are looking out for us. But yeah, they started off the episode with the narrator, classic Clone Wars move.
Do the voice, Wayne.
Dance, monkey, dance.
What?
Do the voice.
Do the voice.
Oh, I don't know his voice. I couldn't say anything about last time on. Yeah.
That was, you had it going there. Yep, I can feel it. So yeah,
I thought it was cool. They animated the portions from Revenge of the Sith, and
Yeah.
I saw one thing. It was actually had them side by side. It is
Oh,
exactly the same.
wow. Yeah,
Like
I know.
the droids in the background move the same.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I
Palpatine,
need to find
his
that.
like speech, that was eerily recognizable.
I recited the whole thing. Heather was like, "Would you please shut up?"
Yeah. You want to hear Palpatine's voice, not yours.
Somebody did they did a side by side today that I found on YouTube where they did the Order 66 from the Clone Wars and the one from the Bad Batch, how they're playing together, and it was awesome.
We've seen them so many times now. You could make a whole movie out of just Order 66, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. It's that's what I was telling Hannah, is that it is gonna be like a whole new little era that we didn't really get to focus on. They kind of skipped it real quick, so
There's a lot of we've seen some of this era from like the Vader comics and stuff, but like there's so much that we like. It's a totally new perspective that we haven't seen before. So I'm pumped.
I'm
Yeah.
curious as to how much Vader we're going to get in the show.
I would think he's going to show up at some point, but I would imagine he's just going to be like a little cameo. He's just going to show up in one episode.
Like when he showed up in Rebels.
Yeah.
He was a main focal point for quite a few episodes.
It was just the show. Like he was big, but it was just for a short period of time.
Yeah.
So, does anyone know what that planet was that they started out on? That little, like, snowy planet?
I believe it's Caller.
Yeah.
I think it did have a title, didn't it?
Yeah. That scene is actually, we'd already seen, well, you know who the Jedi was, right? The Jedi and the Padawan?
Kanan Jarrus.
Yeah. In the Kanan comic book that came out a couple of years ago, we saw that scene already, but they changed it.
Okay.
They didn't change it that much.
They added
In the
Bad Batch.
comic, the Order 66 scene with him is at night, and they're kind of like sitting around a campfire.
Yeah.
In this, it's between battles. It's a minor difference. I'm kind of confused why they included him in the first place. It doesn't really make sense, but the changes.
It's just cause.
Yeah, the change is pretty minor.
Prince Jr. was like, "Hey, do you want to voice a little kid?" And he was like, "Sure." And they're like, "Can you sound young?" And he was like, "No." And they were like, "Well, just read the line because it straight up just sounds like him."
It doesn't look right. It's kind of uncanny valley, but
Yeah, I told Heather when we were watching it, I was like, Freddie Prinze Jr. just really can't do a kid's voice, or he just doesn't care to. And she's like, "That's Freddie Prinze Jr." I'm like, "Yep, that's him just doing his regular voice."
Yeah.
as a 16-year-old or whatever. Wayne, I kind of cut you out. I'm sorry, man.
It's been happening the whole time. That's why I was in a mood to begin with, so it's all good.
Perfect. All right, just making sure that you.
We need little buzzer lights we can put up. I'm talking.
Whoever has the talking stick, that's
a good idea. Talking stick. Okay, that looks like a shank. What is that?
It's a weird applicator tool. I used it for when
shank.
I was. Yeah, it's a shank.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like something you'd use to carve clay with.
I originally got it in a set to apply my the masking latex when I was doing my Boba Fett.
Oh.
And I'll probably be using it again here.
Leftover tool.
At some point.
Right on. So
if you worked on helmets or anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
If only you had helmets to build and paint.
Yeah, if only I had 3 that I could see in eye shot right now.
Yeah, it's true. Yep, that's true. Somebody might have worked real hard in making those for you.
Yeah,
should probably work on them.
Someone's 3D printer probably did a lot of work.
I honestly have no room to talk here because we may or may not have pieces of Evan's Kylo that are still sitting in the bag he dropped them off on.
Hey, we were just talking about that yesterday. He was like, Jen still got my parts of the Kylo. I was like, dude, I could just pick them up and bring them over for you. Yeah, I don't think they're done.
And I was like, I honestly don't even know if I could fit in at this point. I could probably squeeze in, but there was an incident one time where I had gained a little bit too much weight and I wore Kylo. It was to the troop in Marion, and I bent down and my belt flew off. So,
like the Force
Velcro together.
Yeah, you used the Force and just shot that belt out.
Some little kid's gonna lose an eye.
Oh man, that would be yeah. Hopefully not at an official 501st troop. But let's get back to the Bad Batch. So the episode obviously starts off with Order 66, and you see young Caleb before he is Kanan, and he witnessing his master.
Obviously, the Bad Batch are not in the Kanan comic because they didn't exist yet.
Right. But now we know that they were actually only a few yards away.
Yeah, they're just off panel the whole time.
They're actually walking, right outside the panels of the comic book. But luckily, this series has revealed it to us that they were nearby, and they did witness and were confused by this order. Nobody knew what the heck it was.
Oh, almost all of them were confused.
Except one. There's a Crosshair who's,
Except to the one who's the cop.
You can't. Yeah. You gotta stop following orders. All right. Jeez. But yeah, no. So Crosshair, he's a little twitchy. What the hell, Wayne? I know he's laughing about something I said.
Yeah, it's John's picture, the trailer and the description of it.
Okay, see, I don't even know.
That's for the outtakes.
Yeah, this is the inside joke here. But so they don't follow the order. They're kind of confused, and they actually Hunter chases down Caleb, and instead of stopping him, he lets him get away. Crosshair sees it. He doesn't like it. So,
I know going into the show, there was a lot of questions like, did the Bad Batch execute Order 66 or did they not? There was kind of questions whether or not they had chips. How were they affected by everything? So,
and it
I
seems
was happy to see that addressed.
Yeah, and I think because of how they addressed it with Crosshair, who seemed to be the more, I guess we're kind of getting ahead of it, but yeah, Crosshair is obviously trying to follow orders where everybody else is not so. They're kind of more concerned about their generals being killed out of nowhere. So they get sent back to Camino, right?
Yeah.
Well, and they run into a new little character we were introduced to in the trailers, Omega, which means the end.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I love when they get to Camino and you look at all the other clones. Okay, throughout the entire Clone Wars, we saw the rainbow of clone colors. Every armor, every paint job, all these differences. After Order 66, we only see two kinds of clones. We see the red Coruscant Guard shock troopers, and we see the all white.
I think there was another one. There was a gray Coruscant Guard looking guy as well.
Yeah, but there were a lot of white ones.
They're the Camino security, but yeah, they're mostly in the background.
Regs.
The majority of what you see is just all white. So it was already like, these are stormtroopers.
Yeah, it's funny. Like even when they landed on Camino, like there's immediately a tone change. And like Camino is always kind of like a dark, foreboding place, But this episode, like, it was
Very
like,
mysterious place.
yeah, it was because you've seen Camino in the Clone Wars before, but it was different this time.
Yeah. And every time they're in Camino, it's kind of like it's at night. It's very dark. It's stormy,
Yeah.
even for
Yeah.
Camino.
Always. It's never like a day at the beach. It's always really, really bad weather.
The more I watch that episode, the more I'm seriously considering the next time I get a little bit of extra money, I'm going to go ahead and buy another clone armor because I've got to do a shock trooper.
Yeah, I was watching that. I was like, I kind of like the red.
I love the red.
It
Red
looks
is not
so
my favorite
good.
color, but it looks good on those, and I love.
Yeah, it does.
And those are
telling you,
Coruscant guards, right?
Yeah.
The snout is the red, but then the inside of the cheeks and the inside of the back indentations.
He
I
is
just
cool.
love that. I love the fact that it's just the chest, and then the whole calf is red.
Mhm.
I want one so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
The pauldrons look weird. They just look weird to me.
Didn't notice the pauldrons.
Like all the pauldrons, or just the ones on the shock troopers?
Well, it's the same style of pauldron was on the shock troopers, as well as the commander who ended up shooting Depa. It's Rex's style of pauldron, and I've spent a lot of time really staring at animated clones. So every little detail is burned into my brain. It's Rex's style because it's the hard right angle.
And it's
If you
got
watch-
the 3 pouches, right?
They don't have the pouches.
Mm.
If you watch any of the other episodes of Clone Wars, anybody who has a pauldron doesn't have that same type. But in this, they all have that type. And it sits weird. I don't know. It just looks weird.
Okay. We'll have to check that one out. We'll have to look back at that one. But yeah, those were sweet. Wayne, you should definitely do that. I don't know if you've seen the Galactic Armorer, his video. He did a Coruscant Guard 3D print armor, just like my Bly, except obviously no specialist helmet. It's just a regular shock. But it was from references from Battlefront, so it might be slightly different. But
Yeah, the Battlefront ones are slightly different.
But I think he has a CRL for it, or if not, it's in the works. I don't know. But anyways, those were awesome. And then I guess we kind of learned that Omega is well, let's see.
Are
No.
we? What are the theories on Omega? What do we think?
Well,
Well,
they already said what she is. She's a
She's a modified clone. How do you think they modified her?
Yeah, I want to know why she's young and the other ones are old, and why did they start working on her later if there's only 5 total? And then also, I wonder if she has some weird. I don't know what, like they all have like strengths and powers and stuff, right? Like what could be her thing?
My thing is, I think she was their attempt at cloning a Jedi, or creating a Jedi.
Force sensitive, right? That's what I was kind of thinking. With the little charm on the head kind of thing, just made it look a little bit more like.
That's the same one that Tom Wee's wearing.
Yeah, that's the Camino, and they all have the thingies on their heads.
I knew that.
And there were children, like child clones in that episode, like they were marching, like the little Boba Fett looking guys.
Yeah. But they didn't look like her.
No.
And there is no hers. She's the only female.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
So you
What
gotta
makes me
wonder,
think-
is she cloned from Jango Fett, and then they just kind of like,
Well,
Yeah.
look at the Bad Batch. They're
Yeah.
all technically his DNA, but some of them don't look anything like him.
She
Right.
absolutely is, because you can tell it in the voice.
yeah, she got that
Oh,
Kiwi
yeah.
accent.
She has
had
a
like
proper
5
Kiwi accent.
different
Yeah,
accents. It
it's
did
not a
not sound
fake
like
one.
any accent I have ever heard. It was weird.
That is a proper Kiwi accent.
I just didn't. I didn't buy it. But I don't know. But it was. It is very obvious that she's got that Maori.
What makes me think she might be force sensitive, or at least an attempt at force sensitive, is when they get ready to take Crosshair, she's like up to him and she's like, "What you're gonna do is not your fault," or something. She's saying something like that, but almost like she knows what's gonna happen.
I thought that had something to do with because she was like the medical technician or whatever, and so she knew about the chips in their heads.
Yeah. It's like she knows something's gonna happen, and she's telling him like this isn't your fault or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like a little bit of like future vision.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing. So they get they get sent on a mission to go wipe out some insurgents, which they expect to be some battle droids, and that's after they get like bench tested to fight off some like training droids that they decide to arm with actual live rounds while they were using stun weapons. It was Tarkin. He's a pretty evil dude. He kind of was like, yeah, let's get rid of them, and then if they survive, cool, we might can use them. But he really did not have any care for their lives at all. Typical Tarkin.
I was wondering if he was he actively trying to kill them?
I think he was.
Or was he just like, if they die, if they live, hey, maybe they're useful.
I think it was a little bit of both, but I think he was like, they're probably gonna they're gonna die and they're weak, and I'm gonna just get rid of them because they are
they're not loyal.
Well, that's probably the biggest thing for Tarkin, but like the even the robot that comes back with their blood tests and it's like, you guys are all defective. I'm gonna leave you now to really think about that. The surprise. And they're like, we know. We're not surprised at all that we're not regular clones.
That's the same droid that helped Top and Fives.
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing him again.
I didn't know if it was the same
in my head,
one.
it is the exact same droid.
That's what I was about to say. Okay.
It is. He gives the exact same number. It's the same one.
Does he give the exact same number?
Yep.
Yeah. See, I figured he was from another one because he did sound familiar, but I didn't know if it was one and the same. I actually was thinking, like, are all these model droids, do they all talk and act like this? Because that's got to be annoying. Who knows?
Well, no, that's what he's supposed to be. He's a medical droid. He's supposed to sound cheery and bright and
right. It's true. It's true. So we find out once they get there that they're just hiding out, and not only that, these people are being led by Saw Gerrera, a young Saw Gerrera. So that was kind of exciting. When they realized that their mission was not what they were told it was going to be, they decide to head back, even being told by Omega that it's not safe. They do it anyways. And that's when they get arrested. And
you got to see the fancy clone undersuits.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
we've seen those a couple times before. I like seeing the little emblem on their shoulder.
Yeah. So
it snaps and will look like a zipper, and
it was very well thought out. It wasn't. I mean, it's like, this is what they had underneath their suits, and they all wore it, and that's it made a lot of sense. They I forgot to say, while they were on that mission, they discovered that they were being basically stalked by Tarkin and monitored by probe droid. And
I like how the probe droid just has never changed. It's just always the same forever.
Yeah.
There's big ones and small ones, but they always look the same.
Yeah.
So they shoot that thing, but not before it records old Crosshair. He seems to be the only one loyal. So they end up taking him from the prison cell and seeing what's up with him. Like, how come he is more loyal to the Empire? And turns out, and I believe this is the case for all of them, I think they all have a chip. It's just his
Yeah.
malfunctioned.
Well, his functioned
No.
properly.
Well, very
his,
weak.
his
The only one that
malfunctioned the
worked.
least. Yeah.
Yeah. So no one else's worked. I believe that they all, if they were to scan, they would have it, but his only reacted very lightly, and then we discover that they can actually turn that up, which is terrifying.
They turned him not up to 11, they turned him up to like 50.
Yeah. and at the same time, the Bad Batch is trying to figure a way out of the cell, and of course,
So the thing with the chip is interesting because I think there was a lot of controversy after the Clone Wars came back for like the third, fourth, whatever time when they did the Netflix, like the short season on Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't remember what season it was.
That is technically season 6.
Yeah. So they brought so they had that storyline with the chips. And I think a lot of people didn't like that because they were like, well, they were good and then they were bad. Like, and I think this episode sort of expanded on the whole chip thing, where it's clear that it's not just the chip that programs them. They're already programmed, and that chip just sort of solidifies the programming, because they're like they're saying like they're bred, basically, like they're genetically bred to be able to follow orders, and the chip is just like takes that the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it ensures their compliance.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not just the chip.
And they'll be less independent.
Right. And so they try to bust out of there, and they're successful. Tech comes out with a very smart solution, and then Omega helps kind of sneak out a little hole that Wrecker makes and all that stuff, and they escape.
We get to the hangar, and we get the scene of lies. Yes. Lies, filthy lies.
Yes. Now, elaborate. Elaborate.
Okay, so they go to they escape from the prison, and they're like, your stuff's in the hangar. Our armor is probably there too. Okay, sure, whatever, that makes sense. They get there, and they're like, suit up. 30 seconds later, they're fully suited up. That is nothing but filthy lies.
Come on, man. You're not a professional. You're not a soldier.
Yeah, you're worried about cracking a piece of armor. They're not worried about cracking a piece of armor.
No. But no, you're right. That is true. It did not take them very long. Actually, I don't even remember the suit up. I just remember it being before and after.
Yeah.
It's, if I remember correctly, Hunter, they're all like pulling pieces out of the bins, and then they cut away to something, and they cut back, and they're fully dressed.
Yep. That solves the problem there. And then I noticed that Crosshair loses his old Crosshair helmet and gets a new, like, I don't even know what it is. It's almost like a Gree helmet, but a blacked out Gree helmet.
It sort of looked like a stormtrooper helmet because it had like the cutout teeth and everything.
It was like a hybrid. It was weird. No,
Wayne,
you're
muted.
Wayne, you're muted. We need your 2 cents.
Oh, sorry. I said no. That's a Shadow Trooper helmet.
But it looked like a clone.
It's the beginnings of one. It is a Shadow Trooper.
Okay, because that's what I
His
thought.
armor was black, as well as that helmet, and the lenses were that dark green.
So whenever I saw the helmet, I paused it and I was like, "That's got to be a stormtrooper helmet." And I looked and I was like, "It looks so much like a stormtrooper helmet."
The
but
visor is connected. That's the big thing.
It's somewhere in between a Phase 2 and a Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Phase 3.
Oh
There's
Lord. Oh God.
You could call this a spoiler, but it's already been released as a toy, so we already know, and it's in one of the trailers. Is we didn't know he was going to turn, but they did in one of the trailers. You do see what looks like clones. They're all black or very, very dark gray, and they have this green visor. And I think they're called Shadow Troopers or something to that effect.
And I think he's the first one.
Yeah, I think they're going to be kind of our recurring villains.
That is so cool. I loved it. That was one of my favorite parts, even though it was kind of subtle, but I was like, oh, he's got a new helmet. He's got like a whole new personality. He's not a part of the Bad Batch anymore because like those 4 helmets kind of represented the Bad Batch, you know?
I wonder if the CRL is going to change to where you can't have the mirrored lenses anymore. They have to be green.
That's for a different thing. It's a different type of trooper.
That's true.
I think they'll bring. I think Crosshair will be. He'll come back in the end. It may be like a Vader scenario where he like basically comes back to the light on his deathbed, but I think he'll come back around at some point.
Yeah. Yep. So the episode kind of ends like, well, I was hoping we could lay low, but now that Crosshair's on our tail, I guess we're gonna have to, run around.
I like the design because at one point you see Echo with his helmet off. His helmet, the whole back is cut out. It's actually the thing that's on the back of his head is part of his helmet.
Whoa,
I didn't notice that.
That's cool. That's a
Yeah,
lot
you didn't
of.
see that when he sets his helmet down, the whole back end's cut out.
That's so cool.
I didn't think about. I mean,
It's
I
just
noticed
a really cool little design choice I liked.
I noticed he had the thing around his head when he took the helmet off, but I did not pay attention to that. Man, that's
Do we
what
know
happens.
where they're going at the end of the episode? They said like J19 or something.
Yeah, who is that guy? Who is it? Or do we have any?
I
rumors
heard I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they let slip a spoiler for episode 2. I'm not going to say it here. I will say it references a Clone Wars episode.
I figured that like if someone who's a hardcore Clone Wars fan would probably be like, yeah, that's the thing. Because I looked at Heather and I was like, and she looked at me and she was like, do you know where that is? And I was like, I feel like I should, but I don't.
I'm sure you could type in that number real easy on Google.
No, it won't. I tried Googling.
Really? So it's actually someone did their research, figured this out, huh? Or someone just knows their junk. They know their Clone Wars.
If you really, really, really know Clone Wars minutia, and we're talking teeny tiny little detail, you know where they're going.
Cool. Can't wait.
Or if you listen to this podcast that lets a spoiler loose, you know.
And the episode is 70 minutes long.
Yeah, it was a long episode.
It was like almost like a full length like film, and even it was like a full length film, and it's like, oh well, now you got to go see the sequel. Like it was
on Friday.
Very well done. It was very well done, man. Everything there was nothing with the animation to gripe about. I love the Clone Wars animation, how it's animated and almost a little geometric, but when they get up close, like when you see Echo's face, you see it's like hand painted, like drawn. I love it. It's very like it's kind of immersive feeling.
There's
it's like you're looking into a program.
In the final moments when Hunter and Crosshair are facing down and they keep getting like closer and closer and closer in on their faces, the depth of field and everything when they were really zoomed in, really, really good.
Yeah.
So it was like really, really well done animation.
Yeah. It was like a camera was filming these characters, it's so good. They I think since
they've been doing it for 13 years.
Well, I was about to say ever since that super epic battle with Ahsoka and Darth Maul in Clone Wars that kind of ended out the last season. Like the cinematography and the how they had Ray Park come back and do
that was
choreography.
different. That was motion capture stuff. That was different.
Well, it was different, but I'm saying since then, which that was the last episode, and obviously this is the first episode, so it hasn't been much since then. But like I feel that same theatrical. I'm not saying that the motion capture was the thing that made it cool, but everything they did in that episode, including that motion capture and stuff, this Bad Batch episode did not leave me disappointed at all. I was super satisfied. I was like, they're definitely
very
carrying on.
cinematic. I think is what
Yes.
I'm looking for.
I said theatrical, I meant cinematic. Yes. Very, very it's more Star Wars than the droid episodes of, the Clone Wars, They
You know what it felt like to me? It
they're
felt
not like that.
It felt like Halo. Like, it reminded me of the ODST campaign. If you guys have played Halo ODST, it felt a lot like that. Even though some of the music, I was like, is this from? It sounded like it was the same sort of motifs and riffs from ODST in Halo.
Oh. Yeah. I haven't played ODST. I quit playing Halo by that point.
Yeah. Gunnar doesn't watch movies or play video games or any of the stuff that he covers in this podcast.
All I do is I print things and I make people do things like.
He doesn't even have a real lightsaber on his wall.
What are you talking about? That's Master
laser sword.
Master Laser sword.
Master Laser, yeah. Master Laser's sword.
You said it. That's right.
I thought,
Master Disco.
I thought the episode was actually a little slow, which, I mean, it makes sense because they're setting up a lot of backstory. And typically the first episode of a new series is going to be a little slower because they got to set up all the pieces. But I think if I had been watching it by myself, I wouldn't say that. But because I was watching it with Heather, so I was almost sort of watching it through her eyes, someone who's never seen the Clone Wars before. There was a lot of backstory to kind of bring her, like someone like her, on board who's never seen it before. So, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It just was a little slower pace than I think your typical Clone Wars episode. But again, 70 minutes of you have this big, huge story arc versus 20, 30 minutes of a short little episode where like things are exploding and people are running. I mean, so.
I feel you. I do. I thought it was, I didn't lose any attention. I thought it was, it was awesome. And I love the intro. We didn't really talk about it, how they kind of swoop in and like destroy the whole army of droids. And that you only get a little bit of the droids in that very intro. And that's when you realize it's like, they're like, yeah, Grievous is defeated and the war's over. Like,
that was pretty much it for the droids.
No more droids.
We got 7 seasons droids. We don't need any more.
Yeah, we're good. I'm good with droids.
Roger.
Bye-bye.
Oh, we skipped over the most important thing.
Okay.
Burritos are canon.
Oh yeah,
that was one of the funniest scenes because after the guys, she throws the burrito, they come back and give them that last bit of sass, like, you're just a lab rat or something. I forgot what they call him, something from a lab, and walks off. I thought that was it. I thought they were going to have the last word, and then that tray comes flying out of nowhere. And
was that when he called him the Sad Batch?
He called him the Sad Batch first, and that's when she threw the burrito.
Yeah.
And then he called her a lab something that came from a lab, essentially. Yeah. And that's when they walked away, and then he throws the whole tray. And I was not expecting that, and I that was a big bust out laughing. That was great. I loved it. Yeah, burritos are canon. That's a good point. Yeah. So we can eat them as we troop and throw them at people if we want.
So here's the big question. What's everyone's favorite new costume from the show?
Oh, that's a good question, Evan. New favorite costume. Wow. I don't have one. No. I'm going to say I really, really, really liked the I liked Crosshairs new
Crosshairs.
He doesn't hit anything. He's been genetically just thrown way off.
Yeah.
Where is he?
That's my cosplay. I'll be cross-eyed. But I love that helmet. So that's it for me. I thought
the original one or the new one?
The new one. Oh my God, the original one. That's old news.
Yeah, the original. Man.
That was last year. Hello, 2020. What
Shock
about you guys?
troopers. Shock
Yeah.
troopers. Boy.
Yeah, I gotta go with Wayne. They've always been kind of cool, but I've never been like, ooh, those are different than neat. Something about it just really struck out.
I almost did that paint job. I was about 10 seconds away from doing that paint job. Had John not said he was going to do a 501st as well, I would have gone with the red. So the only thing that really stopped me from doing it and gave John time to put that in my head was the shoes I had were white, not red. And I had no way of making them red, so I would have had to have bought red shoes all over again.
Red Flex Seal.
Nothing will ever hold up. Not long term.
Yeah.
So.
Just touch it up every troop, baby.
Yeah.
I liked
red
tech.
shoes.
Yeah, you got to get those done by a professional. Like Geo.
I like Tech's costume. That one's my favorite.
Yeah, the guy from Rex and Around has that, and it looks really cool.
I think I like it because he actually it's not just armor. He actually has like the leather strapping and stuff that kind of reminds me. It sort of reminds me of Jango Fett's holsters. How he has like the leather strapping around the cod, and it was like it was, I don't know, it's just a little bit more functional, I guess, rather than just, big, strong armor guy.
I need to go back and look at the armor, but I believe you. Sounds cool.
You better believe me.
I believe you. Please don't smite me with your lightsaber. Or use the Force and fling your belt at me.
Who needs a lightsaber when you got this puppy?
Oh, that looks different.
His ceremonial blaster, he'll shoot you one shot at a time.
Is that finished?
That's finished. It's got the strap on and everything.
Dude, now I feel like I really never have seen that gun because it's white and black.
It's not white, it's silver.
Oh, it's silver. Okay, it's just so stinking reflective. It looks white.
Yep.
Wow. That looks awesome.
You can sort of see how it's silvery.
Yeah, dude, it looks amazing. Are you going? Nice. I don't think you would weather that. That would be pretty.
No.
Pretty
it's pristine.
Crispy and clean.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you basically
kind of thing that only gets fired at funerals.
Yep. And when you wear it, you just wear it. You wear it like this.
No, you don't. You turn it over.
The tomb of the unnamed trooper.
Nope, the barrel goes up.
In the movie, they're down.
Nope, barrel goes up.
Oh,
go back and look at the pictures. They hold it like this, and they also hold it so far up that the metal parts are actually like the strap part that should be going on your shoulder is over here. But if you see them, they're pulling it so tight that it's basically just like the metal connectors are right on your shoulder, which is just really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's sad. Wait, what are those called?
Paladin Rifle Mark II.
No. What are the guards called?
Senate guards.
Are they all the same?
They are. You might find some from episode 3. They're different. I don't know if episode 3 Senate guards have the ceremonial rifle, or if it's just the episode 1 Senate guards. Right. Yep, there it is. See, the barrel's pointing up, and if you look at that picture right there, that one right in the middle top, he's the shoulder strap isn't really on his shoulder; it's just sort of around it. Yeah.
How about this guy? What's he got?
Yep.
That's from episode
I think that was the Force Pipe.
2.
Look at Evan.
Yeah, so mine
oh, there you are. Look at that. Wow. Look at you, Evan.
Mine does not have the visor, and it has the actually I don't know if I have that action figure or not.
Hey, where's your hose? Oh, that's a strap. I was like, where's your hose? It's a really good strap.
That's personal.
Episode 1 and 2 had the full faceplate.
Oh, do you have this yet?
Open.
Episode 1 and 2, the visor was open, and then they have the plume, and then episode 3 they lost the plume and they have the black visor.
Oh, lost the plume.
Yeah, plume's what makes it. It's also what makes it more super difficult. So when I get my helmet, I'm gonna experiment with a couple of methods to, make something.
Yeah, it sounds exciting. All right, guys. Well, I think that's about all the time we got for this evening. Did anybody have anything they wanted to recommend? Or for instance, me, I have something I do not want to recommend.
What's that?
The new Mortal Kombat.
Oh, boo on you.
Oh,
That
no,
movie
you're about
was
to make
so
some
much
enemies.
fun. That movie was a hoot. I loved it.
No.
God, I've turned into my dad. I just said it's a hoot.
No, absolutely not. Wayne, I'm really, really wanting to hear what you have to say, just because I feel that you're a fan of the original film.
Okay, well, let me ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't enjoy the film?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I couldn't find anything to enjoy about it.
What is it that you were expecting going into a Mortal Kombat film that film didn't provide you?
I was expecting awesome music. I don't even remember a flipping thing. The first movie had awesome music. Second thing, I loved the tournament. They didn't do the tournament. They literally digged around the whole time. And here's the third thing. Why do we have to have everybody's powers or thing that makes them happen in a week? Okay? How does Jax get his arms? Let's rip them off. How does dude lose his eye? Let's give him a new one in this week. And then everyone has no, it was terrible. It was so bad. I can go on all day about this. And I got the receipts. Dude, dude, the costumes were so big and bulky and dumb. They look so bad. The original ones, even though they looked like they were cut out of construction paper, they were way better and they looked way cooler.
All right. You played the games, right?
This movie was not about the games.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
No.
The first movie, the one back
the
in
the movie was perfect for the games because it's like they just jumped into their world and didn't say, let's create a whole origin story.
You asked my opinion, then you
okay. I'm gonna be quiet.
Do you want my opinion or do you want to talk over top of me? Because either way, I'll give you either one you want.
I am being very disrespectful. I apologize, Wayne. I do want to hear your opinion.
All right. The first movie, the 1995 movie, dealt with the story of the game. This movie dealt with the lore of the world and follows the story loosely in the fact that 1 and 2, the whole thing with 2 was they cheated in the tournament.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then in 3, they bypassed the rules and came on into Earth anyway. This started building off of that.
Right.
It's how they cheated. That's why you got the people that you got, and you haven't gotten everybody yet. Because if you
that's why we don't get the tournament.
Kombat 2, Kano and Sonya aren't in the game as playable characters. They're only tied up in the background of one of the match boards, one of the arenas. This movie was straight up a setup for more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, with the outro or the ending with Johnny Cage.
Just in general, because now this sets it up as far as the story between 1 and 2. Shao Kahn is gonna,
and he's like not. I'm sorry.
Well, he wasn't in the first. Shao Kahn doesn't get introduced until the second game, because Shang Tsung tries some crap in the first one, loses the tournament, and Shao Kahn punishes him because he has to go back and explain why. That's what we're getting in the next one. So now we're going to get where we got 1 and 2 here. We're going to get 2 and 3 in the next one.
Okay, I see. I see. So there's more coming, is what you're saying. This is what I foresee. I bet they're going to be like, all right, let's show Johnny Cage buying his glasses, baby. Yeah, let's get the origin of his glasses in there. I feel like we're going to get that, and then the origin of everything else.
And they just kind of took away, like they took, okay, everybody knows the game. It wasn't supposed to be.
Yes, you're right. I feel like they should have went with that.
Whatever. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is what happens when you rush it. So they did perfect on this one in not rushing it and trying to throw in too much crap.
Okay, yeah. One thing I did like is that they actually went with like Asian people. Like it's not a white Raiden. Okay, I was like, that was one of my the first when I saw Raiden, I was like, this Raiden is freaking Raiden. I love this. I love it. This is dude, but there were just I guess my biggest issue is I'm just comparing it to that 95. I
can't do that. They're
like
two
Reptile,
completely
man. They
separate
totally did him dirty, man. Reptile was so cool. How he could jump from being like kind of human to being the CGI creature, and now they're just like CGI creature for 2 seconds, rip your heart out, and it wasn't even cool.
Reptile was a terrible character in this movie, in the original 95 movie.
But I liked how he go back and forth from being like kind of human and being
He was just this really bad CG creature that
he went from both. I
thought
thought
a guy. Yeah, they turned into a guy because it was too expensive to.
Yes, and he would go back and forth. I thought that was cool. And then instead in this movie they just left him all CGI. I thought it was kind of cool how he could shapeshift. I thought that was his thing. But
Reptile was one of the most minimal side characters.
I love Reptile. I know Baraka's probably going to be in the next one.
Yes, Baraka will be. I almost guarantee you Kentaro.
I want
Kentaro or Motaro.
And I want them to fight in hell again, dude. Now I just want to go back and watch the old movie.
Gunner.
Yeah.
What's it like being dead inside?
This is
it.
Everyone that's watching this is me dead
unable
inside.
to experience the joy of watching a flying Batwoman get cleaved in half by a spinning razor hat. That was so much fun.
Yes. Okay. That was the coolest portrayal of that character. Yes. That was excellent.
Liu Kang's fatality was the giant flaming dragon. And
I did like how he took off the mask and he like.
That's another thing too. This movie's the first time they've ever explained why can you shoot flames out? Why does your hat work this way?
And they say fatality too.
The game has never ever explained why can Cabal run so fast? Why does he have a power ball? But why does Sonya have purple rings that she shoots?
Right.
That's never been explained. So they at least gave a grounded explanation.
I guess I feel like, in my opinion, is that they kind of overdid it. It was like, especially with the origin stuff, and then they were trying really hard. But they, I feel like, obviously you guys enjoyed it. So that was just my opinion. But that is honestly how I feel.
You got to love it at least for Kano. Kano stole every scene he was in because he was glorious. Yeah. He was hilarious.
He was so Kano the entire film.
The original Kano was so more Kano. He was too much Kano. He was too much.
All
right. Gunner?
I know. I gotta stop.
You need to go back and rewatch the original movie because you're clouded by the childhood nostalgia.
Mm-hmm. And
you're viewing this movie as this.
The bad guy is so much like the actor for the bad guy is so much badder in the old movies. I guarantee
you he's going to finish with he's going to go back and watch the 95 one and his wife's going to be like, so did you like it? And he's just going to turn to her and say, I don't think so.
Well,
that line is awful.
Hey, you know what? There are some cheesy moments in the originals. You're right. It was 1995. All right. I feel like
go watch Mortal Kombat and go watch Godzilla versus Kong and just be like, I'm just gonna watch some glorious, wonderful nonsense happen on my screen, and I'm gonna have the biggest grin on my face.
Are you comparing
like all the people that have been hating on Mortal Kombat? I'm not exactly sure what you were expecting. Like at some point, were you expecting Scorpion to throw out the chain and pull?
I tell you, I'll be honest with you. I did not look enough into it, and I had no idea that it was going to be a remake. I did not know it was going to be a remake. I thought it was going to be like the next tournament. I don't know why I thought that, but I didn't know that it was going to be this whole origin story of Scorpion and Sub-Zero and all that. I thought it was going to be how often are the tournaments?
Normally, they're supposed to be once every 1,000 years.
Okay, well then that wouldn't work.
But Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung
was like
bumped
7.
it up, and that's why there's been so many within the last. Like that's why we're up to what Mortal Kombat 11 as far as the games go. Because everything's changed now, and even in the game they reset the timeline.
Right.
9 is a reset back
I guess
to 1.
that's why that's why my expectations were what they were, was because I did not know it was going to be a remake in that sense. I really didn't think they were going to like redo all the characters. I didn't think
You
that
have
was,
to go back and watch that 95 one. You have to.
It's pretty terrible.
oh, what?
I saw that nonsense in theaters. It's awful.
Yeah, I saw the second one in theaters.
Whenever
Ooh.
whenever it was dark and then the like New Line Cinemas thing flies out and you hear Mortal Kombat, bam, 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 bam. You didn't like freak out? That didn't make you like, you didn't think that was the coolest thing ever?
In the 90s, yes. Go back and listen to that
Dude,
soundtrack.
I'm not talking about the soundtrack. I'm just talking about that intro. It
Well,
is
you
just,
said as far as this one, there's supposed to be so much great music. Where's that in the first one? Because I'm telling you, go back and listen to those two. Go back and listen to the Juno Reactor song, the Utah Sing.
it's like perfect. It was perfect for the time. You're right. I'm trapped in the past, guys.
You've got that nostalgia filter on.
I do, but I feel like I'm still gonna love it. I'm gonna go back and watch it, and I think I'll
Don't
do
get me
it.
wrong. I love the first movie. I love the one in 95.
I know you do, and that's
I
why I
love that
respect your
movie.
opinion.
But if I had to choose
respect
between the two, this one's closer to the games than that one was.
I would say yes, absolutely. They have all the moves in the games and all that cool stuff too. But I'm done poo-pooing on Mortal Kombat on here.
Sorry.
I'm gonna continue once I
You're
get
going to
off.
continue on the Mortal Kombat.
I'm gonna
cast.
take my rage and anger out on my my wife and child and dog.
Wow.
Jesus.
No, it's Mortal Kombat, so it's not serious. Lexi's pretty upset though. She can tell that I'm upset. So I stole that. I'm sorry, guys. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to recommend? Did
Absolutely not.
Mortal Kombat?
I've never seen 1 second of Mortal Kombat. I've never played 1 second of a game of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, well, then you should watch the new one, and you won't be disappointed.
All right.
I've played many Mortal Kombat games. I've seen 2 of the 3 movies, and this newest one was the best of them. And it was a glorious, fun time.
You said the movie or the game?
Both.
The movie specifically is what I'm.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
I've been a Mortal Kombat junkie since '92, so I've just fully invested in the lore and every character and what they do and how they interact.
Yep.
That's my go-to game.
All the fatalities.
Yes.
All the combos. God. It's all nostalgia. You're right, because I literally haven't touched or played or watched any of these movies in like at least 10 years. So yeah. But anything else, guys, that you thought might be close out here with?
Nothing for me. I don't know what's going to trigger you. So.
Oh, I have another anti-recommendation.
What's your anti-recommendation?
We watched a Mulholland Drive because we heard that David Lynch was this great filmmaker that made all these like really crazy trippy movies. This movie was such a sham. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was like 2.5 hours long. Are you kidding me? It took us like 4 hours to get through the dang thing. It's like midnight by the time we're done, and we look at each other and we're like, we just wasted so much time of this stupid movie.
You went into David Lynch. You went on full David Lynch. That one's hard for David Lynch fans. So yeah, it's like we never swam before, so we jumped out in the middle of the ocean, and it was just a horrible time. And I don't know why people like swimming.
Well, now I have a fear of open water, so you know what? I'm just never gonna touch it.
I've heard things, but I've never seen that, so I can't relate.
Never ever.
I won't. Ever. Cool. Perfect. Awesome.
I will give a positive recommendation to end this out, so we don't end this on all the bummer stuff.
That doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
I recently, the last Star Wars book I finished was Queen's Peril, by
Oh,
E.K.
yeah.
Johnston. It's the second of the Padme novels. It was really good. It was really enjoyable. Do not go into this book expecting lightsaber fights, big action scenes, or anything like that. There are no space battles. This is all about Padme getting elected to be Queen of Naboo, everything that they went through in setting up the
Politics.
handmaidens, and then they go through the events of episode 1. And that's what it covers. And I thought it was really, really good. But know what you're getting when you go into it. You're going into it expecting a Padme book.
Is it new or is it older?
It's maybe been out a year.
Okay, so it's canon.
Yeah, it's new-ish.
Okay.
And there's a third book being written. She's writing a third one to complete the trilogy that will cover either Clone Wars or Episode 3. I can't remember exactly where the timeline's going to fit.
I might have to read that because I've become like ever since I started really researching the Cinegrad stuff, I've become I've shifted into the Paul camp of the Phantom Menace apologists. So I'm full on.
Yeah, because the books are out of order because Star Wars. The first one is Queen's Shadow that covers her being no longer queen, becoming senator of Naboo, and her first time there. And then this covers when she's elected queen. That's a baby.
Yeah,
Hello,
he was very
child.
interested.
It's like, I don't care. Can't even look at him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I want to get the audiobooks for that because I would like to listen to that at work. I like the whole backstory of Padme. So
And the audiobooks are read by Catherine Tabor, who does the voice of Padme on Clone Wars.
I met her.
She's got that's one of my. It doesn't really sound like what's her face, but it's pretty good.
I met her at the airport in Burbank.
Really?
Yep, we talked for a long time. We were waiting on a flight.
Are you
I
really?
I
How
saw
did you
her
recognize her?
I saw her in the hotel lobby at Celebration, and I made it weird.
I didn't recognize her. She saw our shirts because we were coming back from the premiere. Sorry, so sorry. She recognized our shirts and she's like, "Oh, you guys are at the 501st," and you're like, and she was like, "Were you guys at the premiere?" And we were like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Oh, so was I," and we were like, "Oh, what club were you with?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm not with any of the clubs. I work with I work in that." I think she said I work on the Clone Wars. It's like, oh, and I said, "Oh, are you an animator?" And she said, "No, I'm the voice of Padme."
Wow.
All right.
And I
Embarrassing.
was like, "Oh my
Evan
god!"
made
I'm
it
so
even
sorry.
more weird than I did.
I know. Oh my god. Yeah, that was rough.
Only
Real quick,
the
'cause I know we're
premier
trying to
guy.
I work with the Clone Wars. Oh, do you take out the trash?
Wow. You're so disrespectful.
We saw her in the lobby of the hotel at Celebration because we were in the same hotel as a lot of the celebrities. They were always like mingling around, and we were just in the lobby doing something, waiting on something. And I kept looking over and like, I think that's her over in the corner. I kept kind of looking away. Look, don't look. And I think I made it weird because at one point she kind of got up and walked away.
It's okay, buddy. You know.
I was like, oh. I was that guy who stared.
You're gonna have to heavily edit this thing.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. I'm too lazy for that. All
I'm
right.
not
Well,
editing in the-
I guess that's it. If that's all, Wayne, did you have anything?
Yeah.
No, God, no.
You don't want to keep this going any longer than it has to.
We
No,
can
'cause
wrap
I
up
want to
this.
talk to Evan about something, and I don't want to take
Trigger
it
me?
into the. No, I don't want to take it into this.
All right. All right. Well, let's
We can wrap up this 90s cast.
let's take this behind the barn and put it out its misery. All right. Thank you guys for joining us this week. You can check us out.
Thank you for sticking around all the way to the end.
Yeah, we know all of you did. We've got a few more subscribers. We're up to 75 subscribers now, guys. So
Okay.
Well, not after this show. It'll be back down to
yeah, it'll be back to like 60, 50 something. All the
We
Mortal
stayed after the
Kombat
credits.
fans
There
are
was
just
another
going to be
scene.
out.
It was disappointing.
Yeah, sorry. We've got
Credit music this time.
the 501st.com. Also, Garrison Tyrannus on Instagram if you want to check out the approval photos and stuff. And then we're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and even the Google Podcast, and on YouTube.
Or message any of us if you've got questions, if you're building yourself.
Yes, thank you, Wayne. If you got questions, which we already know, you guys will comment a lot on the blah blah blah, the CRL suit up videos. So if anyone actually has any ideas of things they want to see us, maybe we can get some of our troopers to do a suit up video for anything you're trying to do a suit up video for yourself. So just Lou, you're really tangled up in there. Check us out. Thank you for listening. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.